Irish Guy. And right, it's that time of year again, the Champions League predictions. Although this year, there's not a group stage. It's one big, massive league table, split into 4 parts. From 1st to 8th goes through to the last 16 automatically. 9th to 16th get placed into a seeded playoff, with 17th to 24th being the unseeded playoffs, and then 25th to 36th out of Europe altogether. I know, it's unnecessarily complicated and weird, but, well lads, I've gone through every single match and predicted each one. It took me all morning, but these are the results. Oh my god lads, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Absolute legends. Back into the video. Right, let's go. 36th, Sturm Graz, 0 points. Look, I hope there's no fans of Sturm Graz watching this video. If there is, then big hello! But I would imagine that is about as fruitless as wishing happy birthday to an Eskimo. Yeah, they don't have Wi-Fi in the snow. Look, Sturm Graz, this chunk of Austrian Bundesliga lettuce with chipmunk whiskers sprinkled on top, are the only team in this entire Champions League season who I am saying will lose every match and wind up on 0 points, which is embarrassing beyond belief. To be given 8 guaranteed money-spinning fixtures and to get beaten up in every single one, they're very quickly going to realize that they don't belong in this competition. I feel like if I try and sneak into a 5-star opera whilst dressed in a hoodie and munching on a sausage roll I stole from a child, look, this can't be a surprise to Sturm fans. The last time you were in this competition, Teddy Sheringham was scoring against you. Yeah, he turned 60 years old in 18 months. His son is nearly as old as Messi. Come on, Sturm. You're gonna lose to Brest, Club Brugge, Sporting Lisbon, Borussia Dortmund, Girona, Lille, Atalanta, and RB Leipzig. And lads, if you somehow manage to squeak 4+ points from a possible 24, then I will lick every single one of my neighbor's wheelie bins. And one of my creepy neighbors looks like his bin is full of dead Teletubbies. 35th, Red Star Belgrade, 1 point. Look, Red Star Belgrade fans would be furious to know that I've tipped them to finish an embarrassing second bottom of the list, because this club are European champions, having beaten Marseille in the final back in 1991. Imagine telling them back then that over 30 years into the future, this competition would have expanded to 36 teams, and still some Irish nugget, some goblin-looking, scarf-wearing creature would be predicting them to take just 1 point for their 8 matches. Yeah, they'd probably be on the first flight to Ireland, looking to throw random ugly babies off a bridge. Look, I see you drawing at home with PSV Eindhoven. Sure, but other than that, by Christmas, you'll be sobbing into your cornflakes. 34th, Sparta Prague, 1 point. Lads, I have a soft spot for Sparta Prague. I mean, sort of. I played against their academy back when I was 13 years of age. My school team, we lost 21-0. But what did we expect? One of our centre-backs was wearing a sling after a girl broke his arm in PE. Well, at least I hope the Prague team was an academy side and not just a local school. But yeah, 1 point and out. 33rd, Dynamo Zagreb, 1 point. Look, Dynamo Zagreb fans will not be happy to be in this company, as this Croatian side have handled themselves fairly okay in European football recently. Like beating Chelsea in the Champions League in Thomas Tuchel's final match, or when they smacked Atalanta 4-0 in 2019. And oh yeah, when they dumped Spurs out of the Europa League. So me tipping them to take just 1 measly point is really undignified for a club who are used to European football. But nah, I'm sorry, they'll have to settle for a frustrating draw in the hills of Bratislava. I've never been to that place, but I'd imagine a trip there is like camping in Mordor. 32nd, Slovan Bratislava, 1 point. Yep. Slovan Bratislava, the Slovakian club famous for beating Barcelona in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup in 1969. And they haven't really done anything since. Look, considering they're coming up against Champions League royalty, they are having to face 5 former winners of the thing. That is a scary prospect. That feels about as safe as reading a Harry Potter book to a room full of zombies. Yeah, you're definitely going to be missing at least an ear by the time he gets put in Gryffindor. Sorry, Slovan, but 1 point with Zagreb is all you're getting. 31st, Young Boys, 3 points. Ah yes, the club will probably have to keep deleting emails from Philip Schofield. I know, on paper, this is a club who just stole a Champions League spot from a team who are now Victor Osimhen up front. After dumping out Galatasaray, then surely I would plump this side into the top 30 of the list at least? Absolutely not. Don't forget, this team is currently sitting rock bottom of the Swiss League after 6 games. They're on course for relegation, and that's only playing against teams with the budget of Blackpool. But yeah, Young Boys, they will lose 7 matches, but they will win 1. Scraping a last day win against Red Star on the 29th of January, which will take them from bottom of the group into 31st. Such a crucial win for the club. Trust me, when they carve out this necessary victory, Young Boys haven't been this released since Michael Jackson died. 30th, Club Brugge, 3 points. It's draws like this which probably makes Scott Parker relieved that he ain't still the Club Brugge boss, because how is the current manager, Nicky Hayden, supposed to survive with his dignity left intact after such an impossibly run of 8 games? It almost feels like these Belgian top dogs being fed to the wolves. It wasn't so long ago that Bruges were placed in a ridiculously friendly Champions League group, being given Leicester City, FC Porto, and Copenhagen. Yeah, when the Premier League champion you've pulled out of the hat has Danny Simpson at right back. You know you've been kissed by Lady Luck. But now, Dortmund, Milan, Aston Villa, Celtic, Sporting Lisbon, Juventus, Man City. Sorry lads, but Bruges, they will beat Sturm Graz away, but I promise you, that is it. Honestly, if Bruges even take 6 points, then I will spend an hour in a freezing cold lake at Christmas. 29th, balling at 4 points. Okay, so far I've crammed a bunch of minnows from obscure leagues into the group of relegated teams down the bottom of this thing. But to now pluck a club from one of Europe's top 5 leagues, that's a bold shout, right? Lads, Bologna are Champions League debutants, but this is not going to be a fun experience for them at all. Come on, they've lost their star manager Thiago Motta to Juventus. They sold key players like Riccardo Calafiori and Joshua Zirkzee to the Premier League. This team are absolutely going to be eaten with a spoon, and let's be real, they shouldn't even be in this competition. They finished 5th in Serie A. I don't see Bologna winning a single match. They'll grind out grisly, ugly, grueling draws in 50% of their games, but ultimately not a single Champions League win for their expecting fans. Ouch. 28th, Shakhtar Donetsk, 5 points. Yeah, sorry, Shakhtar. I know this is a club with decent Champions League pedigree, but again, no, I'm still seeing a pretty poor return. 5 points and out. 27th, Red Bull Salzburg, 6 points. Look, the ambitious Red Bull Salzburg owners will be furious with this. The Austrian Bundesliga champions just had an Anfield makeover, stealing Jurgen Klopp's pet coach Pep Linders. They brought in Liverpool teenage midfielders Stefan Bajcetic and Bobby Clark, and I'm still saying they won't have enough to even squeak their way into the playoffs. Again, they'll be fuming. Because this is a club who next summer are traveling to the USA to compete in the FIFA Club World Cup. They have been invited to this prestigious all-star glamorous tournament, and yet I'm saying that they crash out of the Champions League alongside a bunch of minnows from European caravan parks. Salzburg probably feel like top dogs to be invited to the Club World Cup, so to hear this from me, it would be a bit like somebody getting an invite to Rihanna's birthday party, and yet Burger King won't let them into the premises because they're too fat and might put the rest of the customers off their food. It doesn't make sense, right? But nah, still, sorry Salzburg, I see you pitching a couple of wins. By match day 3, I actually see you sitting pretty in the top 8 after putting 2 wins on the board. The chairman will be thinking some sort of playoff is nailed on, but then the collapse. And by Christmas, poor old Pep is going to be squealing down the phone to Klopp whilst halfway through a tub of Ben & Jerry's. 26th, Lille, 7 points. Look, I realize this team has a flicker of star quality. I reckon this French side are getting dumped out of Europe early doors. I reckon they start off with a draw away to Sporting Lisbon. I think they'll beat Bologna and Sturm, but lose every other match and go out. 25th, PSV Eindhoven, 8 points. Oh, PSV fans are going to feel devastated when this happens, because 25th is the cutoff point. The highest placed team to get knocked out of Europe completely. Look, I think Peter Bosch's side will give it a go. They'll put 8 points on the board, but they will devastatingly miss out. After losing the first 3 games to Juventus, Sporting and PSG, I reckon they then go and beat Girona and Shakhtar at home. They'll take a point away at Brest before blowing it in Serbia, failing to score in a 0-0 draw at Belgrade, before losing at home to Liverpool to confirm their horrible, devastating early exit. 24th, Benfica, 8 points. Benfica will be lucky. This is the team who will deprive PSV of a knockout playoff after also squeezing 8 points out of a pretty rotten draw. I actually think they'll be coasting after their solid start, after taking 7 points from the first 3 matches, and then they'll start getting chewed apart, only settling for 1 more point, a home draw against Bologna in December. 23rd, Feyenoord, 9 points. Lads, if you offered a Feyenoord fan 23rd in this table and a guaranteed unseeded playoff, I think they would rip off your hand and eat it. They've just lost their bald king coach Arne Slot. It is a team in complete transition. It wouldn't look out of the question if they were knocked out early doors. But you know what? Their stadium is still a noisy cauldron. They do play a sparkling brand of adventurous football. Yeah, I think they'll beat both Salzburg and Prague at home before an absolutely historic, electric, last gasp win at Sevilla on match day 8. I reckon in the 89th minute, Feyenoord will be crashing out on 8 points after conceding 7 at home to Bayern Munich, which would have crushed their goal difference into a tin of baked beans. I reckon their Dutch rivals PSV will be seconds away from taking their spot before USA international midfielder Malik Tillman scores a last-minute winner at Lille to break PSV hearts. Just you watch. Feyenoord are getting a playoff. 22nd, Girona, 9 points. Yes, I'm actually sticking a team who just finished 3rd in La Liga all the way down into 22nd. Am I feeling okay? Did I just stick 10 bumblebees up my nose? I know you will think that I am nuts, but I think we all know that the Girona project was a flash in the pan, one season wonder. This is Man City's little cousin, a tiny Spanish elf who they feed breadcrumbs from out of their pocket. This is a club whose chairman would probably agree to clean the car park at the Etihad if he was asked. This is a club desperately clinging to Man City's shadow so much that yes, they're a bit like that suck-up cousin who helps his grandma wipe her bum in the desperate hope that he gets put in her will. Sorry, Verona, but you should be lucky that I'm even tipping you to get a playoff, because 9 points. Nah, no more than that. 21st, Brest, 9 points. Yeah. Another surprise package from last season. After incredibly finishing third in League One, I reckon this squad is going to be a gaggle of burned out muffins who will embark on a relegation battle this season. Sorry, but just like Girona, 9 points, but no more than that. Oh, lads, it seems weird and almost haunting to see Brest in the Champions League. Just like it was traumatic to see Brest when I walked into my grandma in the shower. Bunny at Sporting Lisbon, 11 points. Yeah, don't worry, Sporting Lisbon. I know things are rocky at home right now. After you caught your manager Ruben Amorim having lunch with West Ham, I know, the Portuguese coach is probably still sleeping on the couch and buying you apology flowers 4 times a week. But don't worry, the Portuguese Giants will have enough to squeeze 11 points. 19 Stuttgart, 12 points. I'm not holding out much expectation for last campaign's Bundesliga one season wonders to repeat the trick and take this competition by storm. No, yes, I know Stuttgart did stupidly well to go from 16th to an incredible 2nd last season, but they have lost a bunch of their key players, like their goal machine Serdar Hassi to Borussia Dortmund. So now they won't have a glistening group stage. It'll be clunky and messy, but still 12 points at 19th, 18th Celtic, 13 points. Yes, I've actually said that Celtic, a team from Scotland, will finish above clubs and finish inside the top 3 in Germany, France, and Spain. You might think that is revoltingly stupid, but no. For one thing, I highly rate the manager Brendan Rodgers, who is proven quality, and Celtic Park has always been a fortress on European nights. They will beat Slovan, Bruges, and Young Boys at home. They will get a fierce epic win in Zagreb. Oh yeah, and they'll carve out a great 2-2 draw at home with Leipzig. 13 points, and let's make a deal. If Celtic don't finish above any of Brest, Girona, or Stuttgart, then I will walk to Sunderland wearing nothing but a towel. 17th Monaco, 13 points. Monaco will just about finish outside of the seeded playoff spots. Sorry lads, there's not quite enough quality in the squad, but yeah, I'll give you 17th on 13 points. 16th RB Leipzig, 13 points. Congratulations Leipzig fans, you snuck into the seeded playoff spots. Just because you are going to start this competition horribly, losing to both Atletico and Juventus in the first 2 games before waking up with a shock win over Liverpool on match day 3. Then you'll get a point from Celtic before winning your final 3 matches against Aston Villa, Sporting and Sturm. 15th AC Milan, 15 points. Look, if you told me as a child that when the Champions League eventually morphs into some sort of European Super League, compiling all of Europe's best teams in order, there is not a chance in a meerkat's liver that I ever put AC Milan, the great European powerhouses, AC Milan, as low as 15th? This is going to be sobering to watch. They are going to be to the Champions League what Everton was to the Premier League last season. 14th PSG, 15 points. Lads, for a club with the ego of PSG, then this Champions League format will not be welcome and it's going to expose them as being the 14th best team in Europe. They've been wanting to be the top 1 for the last 15 years. Look, this post-celebrity ego era in Paris has gotten off to a good start domestically, smacking 13 league goals in the first 3 league games without Mbappe. But lads, it's weird. Seeing PSG without any true world-class stars, it's a bit like seeing a female pop star without makeup, or the Hulk without his muscles, just being some skinny green bookworm eating pancakes on the bus. I think this is going to be a bumpy season. I see them spitting a lot of potential points all over the floor, as if they're me dropping rice outside Aldi. Sorry lads, but 15 points is all you're getting. And for every point you do get that exceeds 15, then I will pour 1 yogurt pot over my head. 13th Atalanta, 16 points. Yeah, I'm actually tipping Atalanta to finish above PSG, but why not? There's a quality team who've been consistently buzzing around Europe under manager Gianpiero Gasparini for years. I think they're going to have a strong group phase and yeah, propel themselves all the way up into 13th, 12th Aston Villa, 16 points. Never, ever did I ever think that I would be putting Aston Villa 12th in a European Super League. Imagine predicting that even 4 years ago when they were so very nearly relegated back to the Championship. But lads, I see Villa exploding in the Champions League. They'll beat Young Boys, lose from to Bayern Munich, sure, but beat Bologna, Club Bruges, even Juventus. They will lose to Leipzig, but nick a draw away to Monaco before thumping Celtic 4-0 in what will be a celebration night at Villa Park. Honestly, while Newcastle fans experienced against PSG last season, yeah, Villa are getting very similar stuff. 11th Liverpool, 16 points. Yeah, I've tipped Liverpool to finish 2nd in the Premier League. And yeah, I don't even think they automatically qualify for the last 16 and will instead be chucked into a seeded playoff. What? But lads, Liverpool have been given a pretty tough draw. I see them starting and ending the group with wins over Milan, Bologna, Girona, Lille and PSV. But I reckon the middle 3 games will be a sticky patch. I reckon they get beaten by Leipzig, draw at home with Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen, before then losing to Real Madrid like they always do. Trust me, it's going to be a rocky autumn for Liverpool in the Champions League. 10th, Arsenal, 17 points. Arsenal fans won't be happy with this either. 10th? Yeah, lads, try and win all 8 Champions League group games. Just try. If you manage to do that, then I will bite off my thumb. I reckon you're going to have a sloppy start, drawing away to Atalanta, then drawing at home with PSG, and on the 4th match day, I reckon you lose away at Inter Milan. Your trips to Italy are going to be horrible, but you'll win every other match. 7th, Bayer Leverkusen, 17 points. Poor old Bayer Leverkusen. The final team locked out of the automatic qualification spots. And lads, I don't think they win the Bundesliga either, which will be quite embarrassing for Xabi Alonso. Last season held up as the brightest young coach in the world. Yeah, fast forward 12 months, and he finished it behind someone who was just relegated at Burnley, and who everyone now hates because he's too mean and shouts. But look, Leverkusen will still have a brilliant group stage. 17 points is a good return, but not enough for top 8. 8th, Borussia Dortmund, 19 points. Yeah, Borussia Dortmund are the lucky ones who squeak into the automatic qualifying spots, which doesn't sound right considering they have a new rookie coach, Nuri Sahin. But I'm telling you, they've been given quite an easy draw. Yeah, I think they'll gobble up as much as 19 points. 7th, Inter Milan, 19 points. Look, what Simone Inzaghi has created at Inter Milan is a sickeningly tough team to beat, and absolutely the fiercest team this club has had since Jose Mourinho left. They will finish in the automatic spots, and if they don't, then I will do an entire video sitting in a tree wearing 12 banana skins on my head. 6th, Barcelona, 20 points. Imagine being told 10 years ago that Barcelona would only finish 6th in the first ever European Super League. It's almost depressing, but at least it's enough to get you into the last 16. Although new boss Hansi Flick will find out what it is like to be on the losing side of the Barca versus Bayern Munich fixture after he helped the Germans score 8 against them. I reckon they draw with Dortmund too, but they win every other match. 5th, Juventus, 20 points. Oh, Juventus. They are going to be so much improved under their sparkling new manager Thiago Motta. They are going to be one of the surprise packages of the Champions League this season. Even in the knockout phase after Christmas, 20 points. And 5th, 4th, Atletico Madrid, 20 points. Sometimes Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid have really meek, awful Champions League campaigns where they don't look up for a fight and they don't even make it out of the group. Other years, they look like they're going to win the whole thing. I think this is going to be a season where they look like ferocious winners. Lads, the only points Atletico will drop will be draws with PSG and Leverkusen, but they'll win every other match. 3rd, Man City, 20 points. For a team who've been dreaming about conquering football for years, don't get it twisted, Man City will not be happy to only finish 3rd in the first ever European Super League, but I do think they drop points against Juventus and PSG with draws. So yeah, they can take out their anger by battering Bruges 8-0 on the final day, but they're not winning this thing. 2nd, Real Madrid, 24 points. 8 games, 8 wins. But the only team that keeps Real Madrid off top spot is Carlo Ancelotti's former club. 1st, Bayern Munich, 24 points. Imagine we told even 6 months ago that in the first ever European Super League, the manager who tops it would be the guy clinging to his job at Burnley. Some of the pundits were openly saying he was lucky not to be sacked as he was performing worse than Sean Dyche ever did. I know that Burnley got smacked around like a Barbie doll, but you are going to see what a ball-playing philosophical coach like company can actually do with elite players. Don't let the Burnley relegation fool you. Company's still on his way to being a world-class manager, and he's going to prove that by winning all 8 games and topping this group on goal difference after Bayern. They're going to score more than 30 goals. Just you watch. Bayern will finish 1st. Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Let me know. Am I right? Am I wrong? What would you say is your Champions League table? Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to get like, channel, as always. I'll talk to you in a while.